chopping onions in here. Hello, Nisi.
Hello, Uncle T.
How are you?
I'm crying.
Why?
Because this is so special to me. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you.
To say I'm proud is an understatement. More than anything, you are... I think the reason we all need to be brave, you showed us how. So those tears should be the tears to say, Sibu, thank you for being brave.
Thank you for encouraging us. Thank you for being a mirror. You've been doing this a long while.
Yes, I have.
So it's great to have really strong examples of what Black excellence looks like.
Wow.
And that is all we are chasing. We just want to be excellent, and we want to show other people that it's possible to be Black and excellent, because we are part of something way bigger than us.
Oh, yeah. This girl gives me flowers. She walks in. She's my guest. I'm supposed to be giving her flowers. She gives me flowers.
I mean, you're giving me the proverbial flowers, right? Yeah. You're giving me flowers on this platform. So mine was to say, Uncle T, here are your flowers whilst you're still alive.
Thank you.
I didn't get to do it with Uncle Bob when he was here.
Yeah.
So here you are.
I'll take them for the both of us.
Exactly. So thank you. And I'm going to stop crying now. We're here on the best tea in the city.
Oh, yes. Girl, we spoke about this, and I said, when you walk into that building, you must be here. Let's celebrate. And look at God's timing. On the eve of Women's Day, you walk into a building, your building.
Wow, I didn't even think of that. Wow.
On the eve.
Wow.
This is a day when Abu Sophia, the brain, and all of them were like,
plotting.
You know what? Tomorrow, we are walking.
They were plotting to change our lives forever. Oh, wow.
You have multiplied.
Yes.
Jesus.
I come here as one, but I stand here as 1,000, right?
Come on now.
Thank you for acknowledging that. Yes, we have a building, an oasis for African creativity to flourish.
Come on.
A beautiful landmark in the center of the richest square mile in Africa, and we had to be brave about it. We had to go out and say we're going to landmark ourselves as young creatives who just want to do great work and get paid for it. And, when everyone is saying, no, why would you buy a building? People are moving to working from home.
Yes.
This thing is, it's elephants, it's sitting ducks. Look at all the empty buildings. And I just do it. We have to landmark ourselves, and when people drive past that building on their way to work or to wherever they're going, they get to see that there's some Black people who did that, and what's stopping us from doing what we want to do.
We need to know where it is exactly, because I'm just gonna drive by today just for the for the heck of it.
No, I mean, the security's good, so I can't say where it is.
Please do.
Number 20 Republic Road in Bordeaux. Republic is, it's that blue strip on the Monopoly board.
That's right.
It's that expensive.
Elof Street.
So it's the address, man. It's where it's placed. It's positioned close to some of the biggest companies on the JSE, And whilst we're just a creative agency and we're just doing really great creative work, we're centering ourselves around some of the best, and we're saying we're going to grow to be even bigger than what we are today. And it starts here. We've been renting for a long time, and saying my issue that are a little bit bigger than I expected, but my people have a home, our clients have a home, the people in the industry, all the people we work with have a home. They can come and just be with us and really do cool things and get paid for it.
Allow me to ask an uncle question and just answer it straight, okay? How old are you?
32.
Thank you. Now, political science.
Yes.
Graduate.
Yes.
Right? And with international what?
From the University of Pretoria.
Creative?
Yes.
Before that, come COVID, you're like, wait a minute. There are people who need us. I need these people too, but 10 rands can go a long way, you say.
Oh, yeah.
After that, we're going to go to each, by the way.
Jeez.
After that, you are the engine that brought to life Casper Nyovest's idea of filling up stadiums.
Oh, oui.
Right? After that, the Grammy Award winning, internationally acclaimed Nkosinathi Maphumulo, aka Black Coffee, says music is king. You're like, bring it here.
Wow.
What the hell, Sibu?
I mean, what the hell, Uncle T?
Exactly. I mean, like, what's with this girl? Is it timing? Is it you immersing yourself in? How do they even get to know about your brains in this space?
Oh, it's been a combination of, I think, being ready to meet the opportunity.
Come on.
Really great human beings recognizing, that fire in me and giving me an opportunity. Not wanting to say no. I forced my way into Casper's fill up.
Oh, wow.
By the way.
Okay.
And I'll tell you the story around
Yes.
that. But it's really all just been papa mixed with isbindi, mixed with desire, mixed with an obsession with achievement. I think I got obsessed with that feeling of, okay, this is what it feels like to fill up the dome and sell out tickets before the show starts with
Sure.
Music is King. It was incredible working alongside Butnati to be like, okay, here's an idea. And he actually says, okay, that's cool. Let's do that.
Wow.
So just having that kind of trust relationship with some of the biggest talents
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
And wanting to respect that and wanting to make sure that I don't disappoint people who've put their trust in me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been the cycle. It's putting myself out there, making sure people can find me. And then when they do find me, I throw everything and the kitchen sink at it.
Something that holds us back, and this is why I say you are a living example. Fear. Right? Doubt is one thing. Fear is paralyzing. I'm sure you had those moments.
Yes. Fear of disappointing people, fear of failing people, fear of, and I think this is now at a psychological and human level,
Yeah.
of negative feedback or negative backlash.
Yeah.
That's been one of my driving forces to say, how do I avoid people having a negative experience of me?
Yeah.
Besides that, I think the fear of, failure and all of that, not so much.
Yeah.
Because we can pick up and start again.
Sure.
My name is Sibu, and I think we are back. I'm constantly
Yes.
boomeranging back.
Yeah.
So it's that fear that is not necessarily playbook fear, but rather about the people that I serve, about the people that I serve with, and the people who are to
Someone
follow.
can listen to this and say you are people pleasing.
100%.
Wow.
Because I don't.
Why is that not a negative?
I believe that Ubuntu, I believe that kindness, I believe that existing with and for and by others is the rent we pay for being on earth.
Come on now.
So people pleasing, I am pleased when people are pleased because I know that is what God is pleased with. I am the child with whom he is well pleased because I exist to use my gifts, to use my talents, to use my networks and my ability to make sure that other people's lives are also enriched as mine has been.
Where does this come from, Duma?
It comes from my family. My father was an MK. He, left his family.
Yeah.
He left my older sister when she was 2. Left his sisters who he was taking care of, his brothers, left his mom, and he went into exile to take up arms to liberate our people. My mom had to follow because she was suffering the brunt of being his wife.
That's right.
And she went and she did what she did in exile. And I think it's that history that has informed my existence in that I don't live just for myself.
Sure.
My parents were living for other people they didn't even know, people that they could have died in exile and no one would have ever known.
Yeah.
No one would have ever been able to thank them.
Yeah.
So some of the things we do are thankless jobs, because unfortunately, that could be your purpose. We see it as unfortunate, but fortunately for me, I was able to draw from that. And the rest of my family, like my older sister, is such a selfless human being. We're always saying, "Tombi, awuna mali because and her cup keeps running over, because the more she pours out, the more gets poured back into hers. So it's the upbringing, it's the family, it's the people that I get to call the Mabenas, the Matalanes, the Mabuzas, the Zwanes. Yeah.
Is that why Duma Collective?
Yeah, so I was being really random, by the way. Because my surname is Mabena. I just discovered Itagazelo Zami, and I was like, oh, Mbutuma. Okay, that's a cool name.
Yeah.
So I took Mbutuma, I said Mbutuma Communications, and I registered my first company.
Sure.
And my email address was mabena@mbutuma.com. I was like, yeah, my surname at mysagazelo.com. I'm going to be, really revolutionary about it. Oh my God. And then people couldn't actually catch on to the name. I couldn't build a brand around it. People were calling it Mubuduma, Sibu's company. So I just got upset one time when a black client just couldn't say the name. Said, this has to change. And I heard something on radio about, in Russia, Duma means a leader.
Oh, okay.
Very random.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Duma. And there was a big billboard on the N4 that said, what was it? Something about Izulu liya Duma, right?
Oh, okay.
And this Duma word kept coming up. I said, okay, Mbutuma. Duma's a derivative of Mbutuma. Let's add the collective to it, because it's a collective of ideas, a collective of brains and, people. So Duma Collective came from that. Then I registered that. So that was my second company. And Duma Collective just picked up. People were able to really adopt it and take it in. And we've built a brand around Duma Collective.
First client of Duma Collective, because we can start, we can do whatever, we can be at the highest of echelons, but there's always this one client that says, okay, newbie,
wow,
I'm gonna trust you with my brand.
Okay. So the first people I invoiced, let me say as Mbutuma,
yes,
I invoiced 90,000 Rand to a company called Global Access, where I was doing research, political science. I was doing research for them for the Gauteng legislature's 20-year anniversary documentary. And because I was doing voiceovers for FNB and APSA stuff when I was just in my university, they were like, hey, you're a graduate in politics. How's about you come and do this project for us? And they asked, do you want to get paid weekly? Do you want to get paid monthly or whatever? And I said, what? I'm actually going to register a company so that you guys don't tax me 28%.
Yeah.
I wasn't evading tax, please. I pay my taxes. But I registered a company, Mbutuma, and then my bank account, and I invoiced 90,000 Rand. And then my second client after that was MTV.
What?
I did a street marketing job for them through social media, because I was an early adopter of Twitter and Instagram and all of that. So we started something called Twitter Armies.
Okay.
Lots of fun, making things trend forcefully. And street teams with flyers and T-shirts and that kind of thing. So I invoiced 300,000 Rand to MTV Base.
What?
And I was able to do that because I had a company, I had a bank account,
sure.
and I had 90,000 Rand to fund the project whilst I waited 30 days to get paid. So it was a series of being ready to meet the opportunity and also just being hell-bent on working with companies the way companies need you to work with them. I didn't want to lose out on opportunities because, I'm a freelancer, I don't have capital. And, unfortunately, corporate South Africa doesn't have time for your talent if you can't deliver on the job according to their rules.
That's right.
You can be the most talented individual, you could have the greatest idea, but if you don't have the money to deliver on the job and wait 30 or 60 or 90 or 120 days to get paid, they're moving on to someone else. So, Global Access first, MTV Base second.
While this 90,000 Rands gets paid, where are you staying? Are you still with parents? Are you on your own?
I'm staying with my dad. And I'm sleeping on his couch. You know why people say that I slept on my father's couch? I rarely slept on my daddy's couch. I literally slept on my dad's couch because my dad, in his mature years, he was just like, I don't need a house, I don't need a garden, I don't need that trouble. So I'm going to move into an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. But I had a little brother, baby sister, so I slept on the couch. I was taking taxis with 300,000 Rand in my account. There was actually a time I had 1 million Rand in my account and I was being given dicks. And it was because I did feel like, okay, this is the company's money. I'm going to pay myself a salary. At that time, it was like 8,000 Rand a month, until I could save up to afford a car. And my first car was a Ford Figo. And I insisted it was going to be an automatic.
That's right.
Because I was not going to be driving no manual in 4-ways traffic. So said I'm going to save and save and save until I can afford. And I was very frugal about my spend. You know, I'd cut my hair. I didn't want to have a 6,000 rand Brazilian weave. For me, the priorities were not going to be making sense to me.
I'm astounded by the discipline.
Thanks. I mean, I have had my fair share of splurging.
Not sure, but you know what? In the beginning of things, here you are. You have no one else to answer to but yourself. You could have easily bought whatever car or even that figure at that moment, but you still decided no.
Yeah, because of the fear of disappointing people. You know, Jean Dimitri van Dijk, who was the marketing manager at TBose, gave me an opportunity, and had I squandered that opportunity, squandered the money, then he must go answer to some white people somewhere in the rest of the world.
Sure.
Now someone else is put in trouble for my decisions. I would prefer that he goes and answers for greatness, and they say, come and show the rest of the business how you did that. And actually that's what happened. We were able to do some really amazing things and set some really great best practices because he bet on the right horse.
That's amazing. Is that why Fetch Your Life?
Oh, what a beautiful song. Prince KB and Msaki, thank you for penning that, because there's so much to do. There's so much life to live. Life is long. Life is short, but life is long.
Yeah.
And in this long life, there's so many things to achieve, so many things to enjoy, so many moments to savor. And Fetch Your Life just, it feels like the soundtrack of life.
All right. You should see the chaos in the studio here. The effect you have on others. We have a colleague. She joined us as an intern. She's part of the team now. She walks in and she's beside herself. Why? Because Sibu Mabena is in the building.
Oh, that's crazy. And the fact that her mom called her to tell her I'm here.
Hey, go see her.
There's that person.
And Mahlodi, our Kaya TV lady, drags her in. Oh. But this is not the first for you, is it? You have met a few people.
I have, and it's a privilege every time to be reminded that I'm seen, and that's why I cried earlier.
Yeah.
Because I think in a world where there's so many people, so many big people, so many achievers, so many stars, standing out is not easy. And standing out for the right reasons. And also to be recognized for doing what I set out to do, which is what is right.
Were you deliberate about that, but you were like, I know what I'm in this for? Or
yeah, at 16 I started a dance team of girls. It was called Fly Nation, and I really just wanted to have a bunch of girls who are able to become known for something other than how they look, how they dress, who they sleep with. Because at the time, you're not popular if you're not popular with the boys.
That's right.
And it really, really irked me. So I just said, you know what, I'm gonna find a way around this, and we're gonna do some really cool things. And the team was called Fly Nation. It was 24 of us. 24 young girls in between grade 8 and matric. Actually, we even had my best friend now. She was a first year at the time, I think. We got to compete overseas. We got to compete on some really cool urban dance scenes. And that's also where a lot of this plugging and connecting of artists to events to brands came from. But yeah, as the head of Fly Nation, my mission was, we're going to do well at school, because dancing is the first thing your parents will take away if you're failing.
That's right.
So books, we're going to be great, and we're going to be great on the dance floor, and we're going to inspire other young girls who come up after us. So it's been deliberate, and I think it's not insecurity, because it's not something I'm insecure about, but I wasn't the most beautiful girl at school. I wasn't the most popular girl at school, but I was very hardworking. I was very ambitious, driven, and I just wanted to be around other people who were like me. So when a young girl like Marang comes in here and she's excited to meet me, then it says I'm doing something right.
Yeah. There's a story you said you'll come back to. How did you force yourself to the fill-up service?
Firstly, thank God for Tili Moilwa, who has been Casper's manager for a very long time.
Yeah.
I was a bartender at the Sands.
Bartender?
I was a bartender.
Hey, Sibu.
Yo, my life. A bartender at the Sands because I was friends with a group of DJs, Sizwe, Dice, TBD, some really, really, really amazing people.
Yeah.
And they were DJs at the Sands. So I would go there. And one time it clicked to me that these people are getting paid to be here. Man, I'm here to groove. Surely I need to balance the scale. So I went up to the guy who owned it, Alan, and I said, yo, Alan, you've seen me a couple of times. I'm always with these guys. Can you give me a job? And he's like, what are you going to do? I said, I'll bartend. It's cool because I was always talking to the bartenders anyway. Yeah. And then he's like, cool, we pay 200 Rand a day or per shift. Do you want the job? And I said, yeah, I'm here anyway. So that became the breeding ground for a lot of the relationships I have today. Wow. Because only maybe a couple of months later did I clock the fact that brand managers, event promoters, artists, DJs are all coming into this space. And if I want to be influential in this space, this is where I create my networks. This is where I show people my value, I become of service, and I become needed in their ecosystems. So Tili, who actually brought Casper to come and perform at the Sands, I heard Gushesha for the first time live at the Sands. Wow. And Casper was performing on a speaker when he still had the ponytail. Yeah. What an interesting experience, because Tili would come during the week when I'm there and he's there to come and get his money from Alan, and then he'll come and talk to me at the bar, and we just, sparked a relationship from that. Sure. So now fill up is happening, and I was pestering Tili like, yo, dude, I want to intern on this thing. This thing looks so dope. I actually bought tickets for it, in support, because I'd seen what he'd been doing with Casper. And he was just like, dude, there's no job for you. I don't know what you can do here. Because also they weren't 100% sure about how to organize an event or what to do. But they had the presence of mind to get Formative, a company called Formative, which is the one that is behind Julius Malema's Rise, okay?
Oh, is it?
That entire production
is
from a company called Formative. Gareth, what an amazing guy. And they were working on Fill Up the Dome. But I had an opportunity with TBose to go to the MTV EMA in Milan, so the Europe Music Awards, to go and shadow the creative director, which was something I negotiated into a job that they offered me when I was a service provider to them.
That's right.
Fine, went there. When I came, the day I landed, I dropped my bags off at home and I went to the Dome. And I got to the Dome early. And I found Tili and I said, Tili,
jet lag and all.
Give me a job. There's no jet lag, it's Milan. So at least we are still same time zone.
Same time, Nyana.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
And I said, you will give me a job in this here dome. Okay, he's like, oh, okay, fine. But he's not busy. Umatasa. I think about 30 minutes later, I found Gareth, the guy who was heading up the stage, and he's talking to Tili about who's going to help with the quick changes. We need to get Casper off the thing and into the harness in 30 seconds. I have a dance background. I come from, knowing how to do the quick changes thing, because we come from theatre and all of that.
Come on, look at how these things come together
So
now.
I said, Gareth, I can help you. And Tili just looked at me. I was just like, whatever. Do what you need to do. And that's how I ended up working on Fill Up, because I then spoke to Spike, who was Casper's road manager at the time. I said, yo, dude, bring all the suitcases. I need to unpack, get his dressing room sorted. I was underwear on the floor, jeans, T-shirts, this, that. And that was the start of a really, really great relationship with the Bridge Entertainment team, Family Tree, Formative. And then we worked on Fill Up Orlando with that. I was able to bring more people onto the team, some friends in the industry, for them to come and experience stage management, talent, logistics, etc. And then for Fill Up F&B, I wrote the playbook for how we're running talent ops. I was also part of the EXCO and the general organizing committee of the thing, and because of my experience on other shows, I was able to offer some really great insights. But also the Fill Up intern search, which was a crazy idea I threw onto the table, and Tili and Casper actually bought into it. They were like, you're actually crazy, but whatever, let's do it. And we were able to get, I think we got 3,000 applications. We interviewed 1,000 people. We narrowed it down to 100 interns, and those 100 interns got to work on the event and learn so many really great things. And today, some of them are working at some of the biggest companies in entertainment. So it's those Really great opportunities
amazing.
that I've exploited to the benefit of others, but also for myself.
Tell me about the impossible dream.
I think the impossible dream is the script for how my mind works.
Okay.
You know, I want to go where the brave dare not go.
Yeah.
I want to dream that impossible dream. I want to, where people are saying no, I'm saying yes. Where people are saying the door is closed, God is saying the door is open. Where people say go left, I go right. And I think that is what has gotten us to this place today as Duma Collective. It is dreaming the impossible dream.
Hi, guys. Any canning company that is listening to me right now, please call me. We need to can this girl and multiply her, put her on shelves. As some concentrate that we can put into our drinks every single morning. I don't care how old or how young, there's still something to learn. You are inspiring. It's crazy.
Thank you, Uncle T.
This man is a thesis. We've been talking off air with Sibu about me doing a podcast, and she insists that I must. If it has to do with music, yes.
I insist.
Then we can unpack songs.
And then I'll take a ticket.
I went.
And then after I take the ticket, I'm going to get there early and say, please, can I work on your podcast? Because that definitely is the theme of my life.
Do you think I'm going to say no? Hell no. Actually, I'm giving it to you now.
Live on the air, on the streets.
Right now, I'm
committing
committing that should you say to me, Uncle T, this is where we're going. I've written the book, Pause, as you know. Maybe we should call this podcast Play.
That's interesting.
I guess it's about music.
Yes, actually. There's so much we can do there. Okay, this is a project and I think everyone should hold us accountable to it.
Done.
But see, by this time next year, we're reflecting on all that we have achieved with Play.
You raised over R1 million via social media.
We did. And it was so fun doing it. I think that was one of the more purpose-driven times in our lives. Myself, Lasizwe, Takis, Ayanda. Wow, we really put our backs into it. And
10
it was a
rands
lot
can
of
go
fun.
a long way.
Yes. And it went a very long way. It's amazing to hear some of the stories of the kids who got to register, got to get into school, got to do what they, really, really wanted to with their lives. And it came with a lot of backlash. It came with a lot of tears, where as a group of friends, we did this so genuinely out of our hearts. We poured our own money into it, our networks, our time, missed flights, missed sleep, spent, did a lot of things, and people turning around and saying, oh, you guys spent the money on your own things. And it's just, the trolling behavior on social media.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we know our hearts, we know our truths. Everybody that worked with us on that knows exactly what happened. And we even went as far as auditing it, so that we could prove to people that we did the right thing with what they trusted us with. 10 rand, 100 rand.
Isn't it amazing that the naysayers, they come up when something is going good?
Yes.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is, but ours is to kill them with kindness.
That's right.
And to show them.
Come on, before we forget, what is that address one more time?
Number 20 Republic Road, Bordeaux,
We are going there
Randburg,
right now to take selfies.
South Africa.
Come on, 20 Republic, Bordeaux, Sentin, the richest square mile in Africa. This girl has her own building, Mastandi.
Well, I'm currently in a JV with the bank until I pay it off.
Oksalayo. The bank was like, what? How do we say no?
Yeah, actually. And they said approved. And the transfer was lodged. And then the transfer went through. And boom, the building was ours.
Duma Collective.
Duma Collective. Remember that name.
Exactly. Angels are watching you, girl.
Correct.
I'm one of them.
Thank you.
Keep shining.
Thank you so much.
A rich man's world.